Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and don't forget to put the post notification bell button on so you don't miss a beat whenever I drop a new video. So let's just get right into this video. So as you can see right here, this is a 613 and it is a 16 inch and it is in body wave. So these are the colors that I'll be using for today's video. So as you see, I have my first color, which is the lavender. And for me, I actually add in the developer. Some people don't, some people say don't need it, but this is what I personally do to when I'm dyeing any hair. Adding developer, I just feel like, for me personally, it makes the color last longer and it holds on to the hair better and stronger. That probably could just be me, but just like I said, this is what I personally do. So before I even begin putting my color, this is a habit. I just like combing out the hair out just to make sure everything is like properly even. So always when I'm starting with a color, I always start with a lighter color going to the darker color. So the lighter color is going to be at the tip top. So that's what you see me putting there, which is the lavender. I could have did the watercolor method, but this, I feel like when you're doing it by hand, I feel like you get the color like more and precise into the hair where you can see it even more vividly. So when I'm doing the watercolor method, I do it when I'm doing like only like just a one tone or a two color. But this right here is 3 colors, so I wanted to be more in depth to see the colors.
Why you looking bitter? I be looking better. The type of bitch I make you wish that you ain't never met her. The editor, director, plus I'm my own boss. So posh.
When adding this color, make sure you distribute enough of whatever color that you are using. What I have messed up is where I only have brought 1 bottle of the lavender when I should have bought at least 3 more, because you want your brush to be like super wet and you want to distribute enough product onto the hair so that the hair is getting that color that you are trying to achieve.
Oh, you basic ass hoes out there.
So as you can see, as I'm lifting up, that's the reason why I say you want to distribute enough product onto the hair so that it is super wet, because as you can see, some spots are missing, some spots are still that blonde color. So, and plus this is I doubled it, so it's making it even a little bit harder for me to get the product onto each strand of the hair.
And we sound like Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Put that on my partner, I put that on my family. Oakland City represent, address me as your majesty. Yeah, you can kiss the ring, but you can never touch the crown. I smoke a million Swisher blunts and I ain't never coming down. Bitch, you ain't no Barbie, I see you work at Arby's. Number 2, supersize, hurry up, I'm starving. Gnarly, radical, on the block I'm magical. See me at your college campus, baggy full of Adderalls. Call me if you need a fix, call me if you need a boost. See them other chicken heads, they don't ever leave the coop. I'm in the coupe cruising, I got the stolen plates, serving all the fiends over there by the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm colder than the fridge and the freezer. I'm snatching all your bitches at my leisure. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother.
as you can see right here, I basically flipped her over so I could start on the other side distributing some product onto that side, so the product is evenly distributed throughout the whole entire hair.
Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Like Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Oh, all you basic ass hoes out there, man, I got rooms full of bad bitches. They don't need Gucci, they don't need Louis. I'm swaggin'. Oh my god, it's Krayshawn. And we sound like Gucci.
So now I'm about to get started on my second color, and as you see, I'm basically combing out the hair evenly again. So throughout this whole process, you'll see me combing out the hair to make sure everything is evenly. So yeah. So when doing this part, what I did, when you straight, just like slap on the dye on the hair just like that. Basically, you're gonna get like a line of demarcation. So what I went to do all over again after this, I went ahead and feathered the product throughout the whole entire hair, so it can have like that ombre effect that is blended into another color.
I'm in the coupe cruising. I got the stolen plates, serving all the fiends over there by the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm colder than the fridge and the freezer. I'm snatching all your bitches at my leisure. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Like Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. I'm looking like Madonna, but I'm flossing like Ivana Trump. You know I keep that work in my trunk. Got my hand on the pump. If you wanna press your luck, I'm yelling free, be nasty. Till my throat is raspy. Young, rich, and flashy. I be where the cash be. You can't find that. I think you need a Google map. My pearl handle kitty cat will leave impression noodle bag. Now Google that. Groupies follow me like Twitter. I'm rolling up my catnip and shitting in your litter. Why you looking bitter? I be looking better. The type of bitch that make you wish that you ain't never met her. The editor, director, plus I'm my own boss. So posh, nails pierced with the gold gloss, which means nobody getting over me. I got the swag and it's pumping out my ovaries. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches
So now I'm depositing my last color, and as you can see right here, I am basically feathering that color into that into the violet. So basically it had that blend effect, like it's going into a darker purple, because just like I said, it was a vision that I had and I know exactly what I wanted. So when you want something, you gotta know what you are going to do and the steps you are going to take to get to what you really want or what you're trying to achieve. So basically I feathered throughout this whole entire process. So as you can see, as you look further into this video, you're gonna see how that purple, or that violet going into that purple, how that feather helps with it going into that another color. You're gonna see it gives it that ombre effect instead of like a very basically that line of demarcation is not there. So when you feathering, especially when you're working with multiple colors, really keep in mind to feather the colors into each other and stuff, so it's giving it that ombre effect.
I got the swag and it's popping out my ovaries. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Like Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Oh, you basic ass hoes out there. Man, I got rooms full of bad bitches. They don't need Gucci, they don't need Louis. I'm swaggin'. Hey. Meow. Oh my god, it's Krayshawn.
So now I'm just showing you guys how I did the frontal. This is a 13 by 4. I was going to do the watercolor method with this one, but I was like, nah, to keep the color still flowing and going or whatever, I just went ahead and just basically colored it by hand. But I just wanted to show you guys exactly how it came out.
I put that on my family. Oakland City represent, address me as your majesty. Yeah, you can kiss the ring, but you can never touch the crown. I smoke a million Swisher blunts and I ain't never.
Now for some of you guys who don't know, I like to handmade my wigs. I know it's faster with the sewing machine, but I just want to show you guys how the color came out right here on one of the hers. I feel like to me it came out really nice, but basically I'm just going to show you guys how I start my wigs. So yeah, so when doing this part, I like to stick 2 T-pins in the back of whatever cap I'm using. This is a mesh dome cap and it's stretch, so I like to put 2 T-pins at the end of base of the neck. Then when I'm starting my first piece, I always like to double. I do my tracks double, so I stick the needle into the hair already, and then after that when I go and stick the needle onto the mesh dome cap, I don't go through that elastic band at the nape area. I go through the mesh, so never go through exactly all the way fully through the cap, because once it's time to put it on your hair, basically it is not going to stretch. So always go through the mesh. So as you can see right here, I'm showing you guys, basically don't put it through there at all. I'll just go through the mesh. Even if you need to stretch it out right there, go ahead and stretch it so you can see that if you're not putting it through the cap. And I always double knot when I first begin. So I wish I could show you guys exactly like I'm showing you guys, but it's better for you guys to see than for me to tell you. If you need to, just like you see me doing, I always use my T-pins too to guide me, or just to hold onto the tracks of the hairs and stuff like that, so I know I'm getting a nice precise line.
See me at your college campus, baggy full of Adderalls. Call me if you need a fix, call me if you need a boost. See them other chicken heads, they don't ever leave the coop. I'm in the coupe cruising, I got the stolen plates, serving all the fiends over there by the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm colder than the fridge and the freezer. I'm snatching all your bitches at my leisure. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Like Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. I'm looking like Madonna, but I'm flossing like Ivana Trump. You know I keep that work in my trunk. Got my hand on the pump. If you wanna press your luck, I'm yelling free, be nasty. Till my throat is raspy. Young, rich, and flashy. I be where the cash be. You can't find that.
So when I'm coming to the end of the weft, basically what I'll do, I'll go through the weft or through the track, however you want to say, and basically I'll go through it again and double tie it to tie my knot so it is secure.
Nobody getting over me. I got the swag and it's popping out my ovaries. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Like Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Oh, you basic ass hoes out there. Man, I got rooms full of bad bitches. They don't need Gucci, they don't need Louis. I'm swaggin'. Hey. Meow. Oh my god, it's Krayshawn. And we style like Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Put that on my partner, I put that on my family. Oakland City representative.
So just wanted to show you guys exactly how long this shirt is. This is the longest piece, which is 24 inches. And as you can see how the custom color look, it looks beautiful and very blendable. So basically I just wanted to give y'all a visual of how bomb this is going to look once it's all finished. So once I got my first piece at the nape area, I go from the end of where the frontal ends at, from basically you could say from ear to ear, as if it was supposed to be on somebody's head for real. And basically I start going just like this, as you can see, kind of, but basically I just start moving up and going from side to side, side to side. If you need to, T-pins is very, very helpful. So as you can see, I am using my T-pins to help me position my tracks in place. So as you see, I start from one end and then I place it all the way to the other end and I hold a T-pin. And as I'm basically sewing in them pieces onto the mesh dome, I will basically remove it. So I'm basically showing you guys, basically do not, when it comes to those threads, you're not supposed to ever sew on top of those threads, because that's what helps the dome cap basically stretches. So once you sew on those threads that's already there, basically your wig basically won't stretch.
Basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Like Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Oh, you basic ass hoes out there.
when it comes to anything that I do, I like being very neat. So my advice to some of you guys who like doing your own basically wig, or if you have to do it by hand like how I'm doing it, yes, it takes time, but just like I said, I love it still. This is something that is very therapeutic for me. So as you can see, I'm keeping up with the same thread motion, the same thread size and everything, same space in between the, you know, the threads too and stuff. So you want your wigs to look as neat as possible as it can be.
Basic bitches wear that shit so I don't even bother. Like Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit so I don't even bother. Oh, all you basic ass hoes out there, man, I got rooms full of bad bitches. They don't need Gucci, they don't need Louis. I'm swaggin'. Hey, meow. Oh my God, it's Krayshawn. And we sound like Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit so I don't even bother. Put that on my partner, I put that on my family. Oakland City represent, address me as your majesty. Yeah, you can kiss the ring, but you can never touch the crown. I smoke a million Swisher blunts and I ain't never coming down. Bitch, you ain't no Barbie, I see you work at Arby's. Number 2, supersize, hurry up, I'm starving. Gnarly, radical, on the block I'm magical. See me at your college campus, baggy full of Adderalls. Call me if you need a fix, call me if you need a boost. See them other chicken heads, they don't ever leave the coop. I'm in the coop cruising, I got the stolen plates, serving all the fiends over there by the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm colder than the fridge and the freezer. I'm snatching all your bitches at my leisure. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit so I don't even bother. Like Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. I'm looking like Madonna, but I'm flossing like Ivana Trump. You know I keep that work in my trunk. Got my hand on the pump. If you wanna press your luck, I'm yelling free, be nasty. Till my throat is raspy. Young, rich, and flashy. I be where the cash be. You can't find that. I think you need a Google map. My pearl handle kitty cat will leave impression noodle bag. Now Google that. Groupies follow me like Twitter. I'm rolling up my catnip and shitting in your litter. Why you looking bitter? I be looking better. The type of bitch that make you wish that you ain't never met her. The editor, director, plus I'm my own boss. So posh, nails pierced with the gold gloss, which means nobody getting over me. I got the swag and it's pumping out my ovaries. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit so I don't even bother. Like Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit so I don't even bother. Oh, all you basic ass hoes out there, man, I got rooms full of bad bitches. They don't need Gucci, they don't need Louis. I'm swaggin'. Hey, meow.
So when it comes close to getting towards the front, basically where the frontal is at, I repeat, I do not sew onto the frontal, because over time when you keep wearing the same frontal or the wig, whatever you want to call it and stuff, it basically start losing hair. So sometimes in this case, instead of taking everything out, all you just will have to do is take out the frontal out. And excuse me of my arms, because this thread, when I do threads, I thread them long as hell. But just like I was saying, I do not sew the tracks attaching to the frontal, because frontals over time do get patchy and, you know, bald. And over time some people like to change their frontal, some people just throw the whole wig away. I like to just change the frontal. So basically what I do is go underneath, not even underneath, but underneath, yeah, underneath the frontal, but not attaching nowhere where I thread, where the thread and the frontal meets. So basically, I don't know how much to really explain stuff, but basically instead of going through the frontal and whatever thread is the frontal, wherever is the thread frontal is at, I don't make that touch nothing. So I don't know, just watch.
I'm rolling up my catnip and shitting in your litter. Why you looking bitter? I be looking better. The type of bitch that make you wish that you ain't never met her. The editor, director, plus I'm my own boss. So posh, nails pierced with the gold gloss, which means nobody getting over me. I got the swag and it's pumping out my ovaries. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Like Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Oh, all you basic ass hoes out there, man, I got rooms full of bad bitches. They don't need Gucci, they don't need Louis. I'm swaggin'. Hey, meow. Oh my God, it's Krayshawn. And we sound like Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. than the fridge and the freezer. I'm snatching all your bitches at my leisure. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Like Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. I'm looking like Madonna, but I'm flossing like Ivana Trump. You know I keep that work in my trunk. Got my hand on the pump. If you wanna press your luck, I'm yelling free, be nasty. Till my throat is raspy. Young, rich, and flashy. I be where the cash be. You can't find that. I think you need a Google map. My pearl handle kitty cat will leave impression noodle bag. Now Google that. Groupies follow me like Twitter. I'm rolling up my catnip and shitting in your litter. Why you looking bitter? I be looking better. The type of bitch that make you wish that you ain't never met her. The editor, director, plus I'm my own boss. So posh, nails fierce with the gold gloss, which means nobody getting over me. I got the swag and it's pumping out my ovaries. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Like Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Oh, all you basic ass hoes out there, man, I got rooms full of bad bitches. They don't need Gucci, they don't need Louis. I'm swaggin'. Hey, meow. Oh my God, it's Krayshawn. And we sound like Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Put that on my partner, I put that on my family. Oakland City represent, address me as your majesty. Yeah, you can kiss the ring, but you can never touch the crown. I smoke a million Swisher blunts and I ain't never coming down. Bitch, you ain't no Barbie, I see you work at Arby's. Number 2, supersize, hurry up, I'm starving. Gnarly, radical, on the block I'm magical. See me at your college campus, baggy full of Adderalls. Call me if you need a fix, call me if you need a boost. See them other chicken heads, they don't ever leave the coop. I'm in the coop cruising, I got the stolen plates, serving all the fiends over there by the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm colder than the fridge and the freezer. I'm snatching all your bitches at my leisure. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Like Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother.
So I'm finally closing it off. Sorry that it got blurry. I didn't even notice that it even got blurred because of my big head. But as I'm closing it off, as you see, I went through the weft and a little bit underneath where I sewed the frontal at. And as you see, I'm basically tying that loop and closing in my last piece. If I want to, I could just close it off just the way how I am right now. But what I do, I leave the string when I'm cutting the string. I cut it off a little bit long and then even tie a double knot just so it is super secure. So right here, just showing you guys that I finished and showing you, even though it's a frontal, you don't see how well and hidden it is to the point where I don't even need to cover fully over where I last close in that last piece at. So it's like I said, when I do my home wig, this is what the result that you get. So I'm basically using my hot comb, my hot comb, just to press out any of the flyaways a little bit to see exactly what I am working with. So now I am basically sectioning a little bit of the hair away from where the frontal at to cover over that last piece that I had sewed in to hide it. as much as possible as I can. So basically what you see me here is just basically section that piece off, and then I'll take my hot comb and press over it, and I'll do the same thing as for the other side.
And we sound like Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi.
So now I covered the piece of where I needed to cover with, and I'm just going over with that hot comb just to thoroughly, you know, flatten that piece, so that track is not showing as much as possible. And basically I am done.
Represent, address me as your majesty. Yeah, you can kiss the ring, but you can never touch the crown. I smoke a million swisher blunts and I ain't never coming down. Bitch, you ain't no Barbie. I see you work at Arby's. Number 2, supersize. Hurry up, I'm starving.
So now that I am done, I'm basically gonna go ahead and style it. I'm just showing you guys exactly how it looks from the front. I am gonna cut off that black piece off at the end, so you guys just stay tuned.
Over there by the Golden Gate Bridge, I'm colder than the fridge and the freezer. I'm snatching all your bitches.
So this is the finishing touch. I hope you guys like it. I wanted to put some curls to give it like a deep wave, and I felt like this is beyond beautiful. I did a great job. I loved it. I end up selling it. Yes, I sell wigs. If you haven't followed me on my Instagram, her page at Beauty Dynasty by Cassie T. I'll put it up here so you guys can follow, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'll see you in my next video.
You can't find that, I think you need a Google map. My pearl handle kitty cat will leave impression noodle bag. Now Google that, groupies follow me like Twitter.